right?
It's true.
But it does wear off because marriage itself is not all honeymoon, rainbows, and
Butterflies.
Unicorns. Got to throw a unicorn in there.
Right.
What are some of the biggest problems that newlyweds face?
Okay, so when you first get married, you first fall in love, you can't have enough of each other. And you want to be together 24/7. And that's a problem because it's very important that you maintain who you are as a person before you become a spouse. And if you don't, in a couple of months' time, all of a sudden you won't have your friends around and you'll have nobody else to do anything with. So it's very important to stay connected by being apart. And what I mean by that is stay with your girlfriends, have girl night out. And for the women, because we are the ones that don't allow the guys to have the guys' night out. And
that's
then,
important.
It's very important.
You got to give the guys a little breathing room,
There's
right?
space,
Sometimes.
exactly.
Yeah. And
but
vice
you need
versa.
to.
Right.
Vice versa.
And then create new couples, relationships with new couples, so that you still maintain your old relationships while you're creating a new life together.
Now, do those change once you get married? You kind of develop new sets of friends based on the marriage and who you're hanging out with?
That definitely
Yeah?
changes.
Yeah.
You do develop new sets of friends, but you should not forget your prior friends either. You want to have two sets of friends.
Silver and gold.
That's right.
Not familiar.
That's right.
Oh, it's too bad.
Before my time, or
I guess
yeah?
so.
Okay.
I guess so.
I'll have to Google that one.
But important, Penny, and to have a date night.
It's very
fresh,
important to have,
right?
Exactly. When you first get married and you're in the honeymoon phase, that's not a problem. But at least a year down the road, you turn around, you look at each other, you're like, we haven't been out together in like months.
Oh.
And then you begin to drift apart. So schedule a date night and don't have it be the same thing every week.
Dinner over and over and over.
At the same restaurant.
Well, what are some cool creative date ideas? Do you have any that you like?
Sure, you could go rock climbing. If the weather's good,
That'd be
you could
perfect
go
for you.
kayaking.
Another one for Teresa.
You can take lessons on cooking. There's a million different things that you could do depending upon what your interests are.
Okay.
See, that's creative.
So-
You got to think out of the box there, right?
Like Brandon, he's a very creative guy.
He certainly
He's a
is.
gentleman.
All right, communicate. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer, but sometimes that's what's missing in relationships.
You know, it is a no-brainer, but I will tell you, every couple I've ever worked with and couples I'm working with now, the main problem is always lack of effective communication. And what I mean by that is, people usually don't have a hard time expressing what they want to say, but people aren't listening to what's being said to them. And that's where you have the fights. I told you this already. And the other person says, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. You weren't listening.
I feel like it's generally the guy that isn't listening. Is that always
No,
the case?
I
Do you
don't.
find women as well?
No, I have to cut you guys some slack. No, I
Okay.
think
All
there's
right.
enough guilt to go around.
Sometimes, okay. Well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not a good listener.
Just being a guy.
Yeah, I'm just being a guy.
And then lastly, fight fair. There's a proper way to fight. Get your point across.
There's a absolutely. And what I mean by fight fair is that if you're fighting about one specific thing, just stay on that topic. Don't, and women are guilty of this, don't, and another thing.
Yeah,
And
7 months ago,
nobody
that
ran.
time when you didn't pick up
And
the
you know, I
garbage.
didn't tell you, but it's really still annoying. That's not fighting fair, and then nothing ever gets resolved, okay? So stick to the topic at hand. If something else comes up, or if you're